Hey guys, Ryan Dossey, and in today's video, I'm going to walk you through step by step how we wholesaled a property and made $11,000. Let's dive right in. If you're new to the channel or to my content, one of the things we like to try to do is put out the resources that I was personally looking for when I started out. So we try to cover like the who, what, when, where, and why with deals like this. That way you can literally copy and paste what we did to get the results. The way you can hopefully get results in your own market. So let's dive into my CRM Simply and kind of just chat through this particular deal. Now, there are deals that take like 6 months to a year to pan out. This was definitely not one of them. So the seller originally reached out to us on August 4th, and I've got to give a huge shout out to Call Porter here. So we're set up with this piece of technology where when somebody goes to our website and fills out a form, it automatically calls into the answering service and reads them the information from that form. So they'll get a phone call that says like, hey, you've got a new seller lead, address, 1443 Pleasant Street, seller name, Debbie, press 2 to call. They press 2 and it immediately triggers an outbound call to the person who just filled out that form. So the result of that is we're getting sellers on the phone that filled out a Facebook ad, a pay-per-click, or a web form or something within like a matter of 45 seconds to a minute. So super, super, super fast. Way faster than it would be if it hit my email and I had to wait till I saw it. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that they did get a piece of mail and then go through our carrot site. We do put our investor carrot site on every single piece of mail that we send out just for like branding. But they got a piece of Ballpoint Marketing. They were on a niche list of death certificates or like probate, obituary, whatever you want to call it. Basically, somebody had passed away, and this was the kid calling in saying, hey, I've got this house that I inherited that I don't want. I do want to give a shout out to Call Porter, though, because they got them on the phone, put in all of these notes, beds, baths, square footage, brick home, where it's at, what it needs, what kind of condition some things are in. And then they even pushed it to an appointment on that initial call. So literally all my staff had to do was show up, take pictures, build rapport, and make the offer. That's the whole goal with Call Porter. So let's hop over to the pictures on this thing. So this is in kind of like I'll call it saturated, but trendy up and coming area of Indianapolis called Fountain Square. So you could see kind of brick exterior, kind of like castle-esque almost. Castle-esque, I guess is be the expression there. But I mean, you can kind of see like this thing needs, some serious work. We've got some wood issues here. Air conditioning is old AF. I don't think this is actual brick. I think it's like the sheets of like asphalt that are made to look like brick. We've got, some rotted wood. I mean, this is a project, but it's in an area that projects like this can make a lot of sense. Now, I'm going to walk you guys through why we didn't buy this one and just do it ourselves. We've actually been doing a lot of flips the past year and a half. And I'm just going to level with you. We've learned about ourselves. We're not the people that do a $150,000 remodel to sell something in like the 300s price point. If I'm going to flip something, I'm looking for like carpet, paint, maybe I redo a kitchen, bathroom, roof it, do some HVAC, but I'm not trying to remove walls or be in that price point of like, oh, what brand hardwoods are these? That's not my game. So that's why we chose to wholesale this one off, just a large amount of rehab. And if I'm being blunt, I personally, if I'm going to flip something, I like the newer properties that don't have foundations that look like this, just because I feel like there's a lot less surprises. There's a lot less that comes up that can go wrong. Don't get me wrong. I've done tons of old houses like these. I've also got my rear end handed to me by a few of them. So, that's just kind of my personal preference. So this was just kind of the property, kind of ins, outs, ups and downs of it. Let me roll over to where we ran our numbers on this particular deal. So we always utilize the 75% rule, which, assuming you're watching this on YouTube, I'll link to above. But basically, we take what we think the property is going to be worth, in this instance, $350,000. We multiply that by 0.75, so cutting off 25%. That's like our profit slash stuff goes wrong buffer. Then we subtract out the cost of repairs, which leads us to basically the max we want to pay. So with this one, if I was going to take this one down myself, I would have been comfortable going up to $137,000. However, when I'm wholesaling it, I also subtract out what I'm hoping to make. So on this one, that's $10,000, $125,000. Now, we actually ended up making 11, so a little bit better than the $10,000 spread there. Was that 10% better, I guess? But that's kind of how we ran our numbers on this, how we chose to price it. One of our big things we do, like we're known for sending out deals that still make sense. So we're normally pricing stuff at 75% minus repairs for our buyers. Now, they might not necessarily agree with that margin because they might think that it's worth more or worth less, or repairs are going to cost more or cost less or whatever. But we don't even give them that info. When we shoot out a deal, it's here's the address, here's pictures, here's what we like, here's our asking, right? So we're not telling them we think it's worth this, it needs this much in repairs or any of that. The reason I personally do that, I think your integrity is too important to gamble with like that. If you ask 5 different contractors what something's going to cost, you're going to get 5 very different numbers. Same thing with ARV, right? You can ask 10 different realtors how much something's worth, and you're going to get a wide range of, oh, it could go for this or could go for, all the way up here, but it probably won't. So with us, we're always really conservative. We kind of just shoot down the middle of like assuming an average rehab with nothing crazy, it's going to be this. Assuming we sell for the average value, it should go for this. So we're shooting this stuff out where internally we're pricing it at 75% minus repairs. And that's why really our stuff sells pretty fast. One thing I hate is when somebody shoots out a deal, they overprice it, they can't sell it, and they've got to drop price, and then they've got to drop price again and again. There's a couple guys I know that have kind of gotten that reputation where people are like, well, if it's too expensive for me now, I'll just wait and see if it comes down, which really isn't what you want. On our end, because we price stuff competitively, often we'll have people that drag their feet that then reach out and we're like, hey, sorry, that one's already gone. Don't be so slow on the next one, right? Another quick little lesson or tidbit from this $11,000 deal, she was shopping our price around. So what that means, if you're not familiar with it, we sent her a contract and she's showing it to other people like, hey, can you beat this number, right? Now, normally they're not like, yeah, give me an offer so I can go see if somebody can beat it. They'll kind of like BS. So her thing was like, oh, I just haven't been able to talk to my husband. Finally, our staff was like, ma'am, it's been a couple weeks. Are you price shopping us to somebody else, right? Or it's been a couple days or whatever. And we ended up finding out, yes, she was, and who the name of the guy was that she was waiting to get an offer back from. We just built value in us. Like, here's our track record. Here's why people sell to us. Here's our BBB rating. Here's our Google reviews. Like, if you want this to just be a done deal, we're your guys. Now, we didn't get into slander, trying to make the other guy look bad. But we do kind of set it up in a way that we're hard to compete with, right? Like, well, ask them to show you 10 deals they did last month, right? Like, that might be a little hard for most of our competitors. Or something like, well, are they licensed? Because, we have a licensed realtor that all of our stuff gets ran through. They have, certain things they have to abide by to make sure you're protected, et cetera. So we kind of set it up in a way like, we have an inspection contingency, but it's not contingent on financing or partner approval or any of these typical things our competition will do, where it makes it kind of like we're your sure bet, you're done thing. After we kind of got that out of her, nothing else really came up about it. She ended up accepting our offer. So we got it for right at that 125 mark, ended up selling it for 136 was what we made on the assignment. In closing, kind of just final lesson on these is the assignment versus double closing. Assigning is basically where you go to the buyer and say, hey, I bought this deal for this. You want it for this. So you're going to pay me a fee of this much at closing on title. Our general rule of thumb, if we're at $10,000 or more, we're normally double closing, which is I'm buying and then selling the house to them at like the same moment at the title company. And in a lot of states, I don't even actually have to buy it. They use the guy who's buying its money to do the initial like purchase and sale, if that makes sense. So like on this one, we chose to assign it because we were only a little bit over 10 and it's somebody we've worked with before. If it was somebody new, I probably would have double closed just so there was no drama. Thank you for taking the time to watch today's video. Again, my name was Ryan Dossey. Hopefully you enjoy kind of these real estate roadmaps that walk you through all the ins and outs of real deals that we're doing in real time. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. We will talk to you next time.